It's October, it's Halloween time, and we're kicking things off with filming locations for something that's not your traditional horror movie, but it still definitely falls into that sci-fi horror genre. So today we're driving around Los Angeles, mostly downtown LA, to hunt for the filming locations of the cult classic Night of the Comet. Hopefully we'll figure out who these people were, and maybe if we're lucky, we might even find out who this was. Let's go see what we can find. The Rey Theater is where Regina worked, and at the time when the comet passed by, she was in the projection room, and that's what stopped her from being affected by the comet. Now, I believe that they actually filmed inside the lobby of the Rey, but unfortunately it's pitch black in there and we can't see anything. Regina comes out of that door right there, and she's standing right here in front of the ticket booth when she first notices a pile of clothes with all that people dust around it. As she's standing right here in front of this poster, and in the movie it's a poster for the Midnight Comet show, and now it's a poster for an upcoming JoJo performance. The trash can starts sliding and the door slams shut, and Regina is now locked out of the lobby. So she starts heading down the sidewalk to the back of the building to try and get in through the alley, but I don't think that was actually filmed behind the Rey. So she would have come around the back of the building right here, and as you can see, there's not actually an alley behind the Rey. That's what it actually looks like behind the Rey Theater. So that was definitely filmed somewhere else. I believe it was filmed in Hollywood. There's a couple of locations that are rumored to be the spot, but nothing to confirm that that's the actual alley. This is where we see the mechanical clown, and this was some type of an auto shop in the movie, just not the same auto shop. And there wouldn't have been a lot of clues to where this location was, except for right here there used to be a restaurant called Fellini's on Melrose, and lucky for us, they get a clear shot of the awning in the movie that says Fellini's. Now this is the school where we see the bike abandoned on the schoolyard. Unfortunately, all the gates are locked up and I'm not able to get out onto the yard. And I'm really disappointed I even brought my son's bike to try and recreate that shot. But I guess this is the best I'm gonna get looking over the fence right here. As you can see, not a lot has changed except for this playground right here. But other than that, it looks pretty much the same. Regina rides the motorcycle right along here and rounds the corner and heads off that way. And the main way that you can tell that this is the right place is this building right here on the corner. Right here in the middle of the street is where Regina comes across the abandoned car. That abandoned car belonged to the writer and the director of the movie, and according to him, all of these scenes were filmed right in the middle of a regular busy workday. Right here on this street is where the Comet Party took place. Everybody would have been right out here in the middle of the street, eating and drinking and laughing, waiting for the comet to come by. And of course, here at the end of the street, this was Regina and Samantha's house. And we see Samantha standing in the doorway right there, talking to Regina. Regina, of course, would have been out here in the middle of the street, standing right in front of this house, trying to convince Samantha that everybody's gone. Now, I think that was supposed to be Chuck's house. Now the camera's looking this way when Regina says to Samantha,
"It's Saturday morning. Where are the goddamn kids?"
This, of course, is where the radio station was. Notice that multicolored building right there. The roof line is very recognizable, and the building just past that is the one that was actually used as the radio station. And pay no attention to the lady dumping out all that birdseed. Just another day in Los Angeles. Of course, a lot of things have changed on this street, and a lot of things have changed with the skyline because a lot of buildings have been added, but there's still definitely quite a few things that you can recognize from the movie. Right here is where the mezzanine used to be, where Regina and Samantha are having a talk. Now there's a few websites that'll tell you that this is the mezzanine they're standing on, but unfortunately that's not the case. Because if we come over this way, this is pretty much the shot we get of the buildings behind them while they're talking, and that would mean that right here is where that mezzanine used to be. Now this building can be seen across from them while they're standing up there talking. So I was doing some exploring, trying to figure out where that parking lot was, where they're sitting on the hood of the police car. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm almost positive that where the Walt Disney Concert Hall now is where that parking lot was. I know there used to be a slightly raised parking lot here that was also featured in the movie Cobra. Okay, right down there is the Walt Disney Concert Hall that we were just looking at, and if we turn and look this way, there's the AT&T tower that you can see in the background behind them to the left. The camera pans across these buildings. And then right here is where the kids are having their photo taken. We can see just a little bit of this black railing on the left, and that large red sculpture in the background is more visible in the movie because these trees weren't there at the time. And Regina would have been standing right here taking their picture. And then Hector comes walking from over this way, and there would have been a trash can right there where he throws away their guns because they no longer need them. After taking their family photos, they come heading down these steps. And Samantha's standing right here in front of this building. Regina, Hector, and the kids are now standing at this crosswalk, waiting for the light to change so they can safely cross the street. And Samantha's right here telling them, "What are you doing? There's not a car in sight."
Nobody here! See? We're talking ghost town!
And she heads out into the middle of the street, and that's when a car comes racing around the corner right there and almost runs right into her. It heads down this way and makes a U-turn right in front of that building before stopping right here in front of this wall. After having a short conversation with him, Samantha decides she wants to go for a ride with him. Regina's standing right here trying to convince Samantha that it's not a good idea to go for a ride with this guy. We see the initials on his license plate and realize that they're the exact same initials from the video game in the beginning of the movie. And they drive off this way, and the building at the end of the street is very recognizable. After they drive off, Hector and the kids start playing a game of football right here in the middle of the street because for some reason they won't cross against a light for safety reasons, but they'll play football right in the middle of the street.